Let me ask you something. Why does making your first $1,000 feel almost impossible? But once people reach it, they suddenly start making money faster? It's strange, right? You struggle for months, maybe years, trying to save or earn that first $1,000. But then somehow, $2,000 comes quicker. $5,000 feels realistic. And eventually, money starts to feel easier. So what changed? Did the world suddenly become fair? Or did you change something without even realizing it? Because the truth is, your first $1,000 isn't just about money. It's about psychology, behavior, and momentum. Problem setup. Most people think making money is simple. Just earn more. Just save more. Just work harder. Sounds logical. But if it were that simple, everyone would have at least $1,000 saved. And yet, most people don't. Here's what usually happens. You earn money. You spend most of it. And whatever is left just disappears. Food. Subscriptions. Small upgrades. Random expenses. Nothing feels big enough to matter. But somehow, at the end of the month, there's nothing left. So you try again next month. And again. And again. And that first $1,000? It feels like it's always just out of reach. Not because you're not capable, but because you're stuck in a system that makes it hard to win. Core explanation. Let's break this down with a simple story. Meet Ollie. Ollie earns a decent income. Not rich, not poor. Just average. At the end of every month, he should be able to save money. But he doesn't. Why? Because his money has no direction. It flows wherever life pulls it. Now one day, Ollie decides, I'm going to save my first $1,000. Sounds simple. But here's what happens next. Week 1, he's motivated. Saves a little. Feels good. Week 2, unexpected expense. Progress slows down. Week 3, loses focus. Spends more. Week 4, back to zero. This cycle repeats. Not because Ollie is lazy, but because building your first $1,000 is like pushing a heavy rock uphill. At the beginning, there's no momentum. Every step feels harder than it should. Now here's where it gets interesting. There are 3 invisible forces working against you when you try to make your first $1,000. 1. No financial awareness. Most people don't actually know where their money goes. Not exactly. They think they do. But small spending is invisible. A coffee here. A delivery there. A subscription you forgot about. Individually, they don't feel important. But together? They quietly destroy your ability to save. So when you try to build your first $1,000, you're fighting something you can't even see. 2. No system, only willpower. People rely on motivation. I'll save what's left. That's the problem. There's never anything left. Because spending happens first. Saving becomes an afterthought. And willpower? It runs out quickly. Especially when life gets stressful. 3. No identity shift. This is the biggest one. Most people still see themselves as someone who spends, not someone who builds money. So even if they save a little, they subconsciously return to their old behavior. Because their identity hasn't changed. And your behavior always follows your identity. AI flow. Now let's connect all of this. Making your first $1,000 is hard because you don't fully control your money yet. You rely on inconsistent effort. And your mindset hasn't caught up with your goal. It's like trying to build a house without a plan. without tools, and without believing you can finish it. Of course, it feels difficult. But here's where things start to shift. Insight section. Once you reach your first $1,000, something powerful happens. Not financially, psychologically. You prove something to yourself. I can do this. That belief changes everything. Because now, you start paying attention to your money. You start making intentional decisions. You stop seeing saving as a sacrifice and start seeing it as progress. And most importantly, you build momentum. Think of it like this. At the beginning, saving money feels like pushing a car. Heavy, slow, frustrating. But once it starts moving, it gets easier. Not because the car got lighter, but because momentum is now helping you. That's exactly how money works. Your first $1,000 creates momentum. And momentum reduces effort. Now, instead of starting from zero every month, you're building on top of something. $1,000 becomes $1,200. $1,200 becomes $1,500. $1,500 becomes $2,000. And suddenly, you're not struggling anymore. You're progressing. But there's something even deeper happening. You stop thinking like someone who spends money and start thinking like someone who keeps and grows it. That shift is everything. Practical takeaway. So what should you actually do differently? Not work harder. Not earn more. Start with this. 1. Make saving automatic. Don't wait for money to be left over. Take a small amount first. Even if it's tiny. Consistency matters more than size. 2. Track just one thing. You don't need a complicated system. Just track where your money leaks. Find the patterns. Awareness alone will change your behavior. 3. Lower the pressure. Your goal isn't $1,000 overnight. Your goal is momentum. Even $5 saved intentionally is a win. Because it builds the habit. 4. Change your identity. Stop saying, I'm bad with money. Start thinking, I'm someone who's learning to control money. Because once your identity changes, your behavior follows automatically. 5. Focus on progress, not perfection. You will mess up. You will spend unnecessarily sometimes. That's normal. What matters is, you don't quit the process. Ending. So here's the truth most people don't realize. Your first $1,000 isn't hard because money is hard to make. It's hard because you're building something you've never built before. Discipline, awareness, control, identity. And once you build those, money becomes a lot easier to handle. That's why people struggle at the beginning and accelerate later. Because the real challenge was never the money. It was becoming the kind of person who can keep it. So don't underestimate your first $1,000. It's not just a number. It's proof. Proof that you're changing. Proof that you're improving. Proof that you're no longer stuck. And once you have that, everything else becomes possible.